Hi everyone, it's Nicole here, the Harmonious Hippie. Today we are having a little bit of a bonus upload. We are going to do a intention setting ceremony to bring in the new year. So this is going to be uploaded on New Year's Eve. So you can do this ceremony as soon as you see the upload. You can do it in the evening around midnight if you have that time available to you, or you can always just do it the next day on actually New Year's Day. Whatever works best for you, even if you're coming to it a week later or something like that, this is always something that you can do. Use the journaling prompts and really stretch out as well if you want to really dig in deep with the journaling prompts and have more time than we have in this video. Then by all means go ahead and pause, play again, and return to this practice whenever you would like to do so. The things that I have with me today are a journal and a pen. So first and foremost, that is what you're going to need. I also have a candle with me, and this one's actually made to be an intention setting candle. So I'm going to light that at the beginning to sort of start our ceremony. I've got my palo Santo and my sage. I've got a cup of tea with me. I've got some crystals with me as well. So I kind of have chosen the crystals that are most resonating with me and what I want to bring into the new year. So I of course have my ginormous clear quartz, and this one is always just a very good, just general protective, positive kind of energy that it's going to bring in. I've also got my selenite with me, which is also going to amplify manifestations. I've got two citrine with me because we're trying to get that bread in 2021. I have my celestite, sorry, I keep saying selenite, clear quartz, all these C words, I'm confusing it. So this is celestite. Celestite is really good for kind of connecting you with your guardian angels, with the universe, really giving you a feeling of something having your back. So I really enjoy that feeling, so I'm gonna have that with me. I have a moonstone as well. I think moonstone's just generally really important to connect you with the lunar energy, as well. It is also really good with the divine feminine energy, the feminine body, all of that kind of stuff. So I always like to have that around. And then of course I always usually have a amethyst with me. Amethyst is my birthstone for my sun sign, so I actually always really resonate with an amethyst, so I'm always going to have that around. I am going to lead us through some journaling prompts today. Admittedly, I have obviously not pulled these straight out of my head. So I've done different intention setting ceremonies of myself throughout the years. So some of the ideas were from that. I've obviously Googled some stuff as well. So if any of it sounds similar to any other intention setting ceremonies that you've done, that's credit to whomever has done any before me. Obviously, these aren't things that I've just made up in my head. So if they do sound similar, don't freak out. I'm not trying to steal stuff from people. It's just, good ideas that I think have worked really well when I've used them in the past to journal on. So we will be journaling. I also have some items that I'm going to clear. If you have anything like this in your house, I have a crystal grid that I have one of these in all four corners of my house. So it just includes a tourmaline, a clear quartz, a selenite, and a rose quartz as well. So those are the grids that I've made. I have these in all four corners of my house at all times. So I'm just gonna re-clear them and clear their energy for the new year. As well, in the four corners of my home, I also have these sort of towers that I've made. So they include salt, white rice, sage, and a bay leaf. Now, bay leaves are really good for setting intentions and manifestation. So I will also be taking the bay leaf out of each of these because I have four. These are four corners of the home as well for protection and manifestation, that kind of thing. So I will be taking out the bay leaves, writing an intention on them, burning them, putting the ash back in here, and then doing a new bay leaf for the new year. So you may not have something like this in your house. Not everyone is as hoopy-doopy hippie as I am. So totally fine if you don't have anything like that. If you don't have a desire to have anything like that, great. If you do have bay leaves and you want to take part in that, it's really nice to just like write just a one word, what are you manifesting, or what are you looking to bring into your life this year? Positivity, friendship, something like that, just to write on there and burn that can be really good and really uplifting as well. So if you do want to take part in the bay leaf portion of that, then we can go ahead with that. I also brought my standard tarot deck with me. So I'm going to pull one card for the year, for the new year, for a message that we all might need. So long-winded beginning to this video. So I will give you a minute to gather all of your things. Anything that's really resonating with you and that you feel like you want around you right now, grab it. And of course, pen and paper is pretty much all you need. If you don't have to have all of these fancy things everywhere, feel free to just bring the journal, or even just the notes app on your phone, whatever works for you. And let's get started. Okay, everyone, so I just thought I would share with you first. This is one of the Buddha teas, and they all have a little note on them, and this one says, life is worth much more than gold. Ooh, so that's a very good start off to our ceremony, I think. I'm going to go ahead and light the candle to begin our ceremony. So if you have a candle as well that you would like to light, or if you want to just kind of close your eyes for a second and take a deep breath and ground yourself in the moment. Let's all just go ahead and do that, actually. Just closing down the eyes. Centering into the body, grounding yourself down, connected to the earth, present in this moment. And now just beginning to feel as if you are open in the heart, in the mind, open to new beginnings, change maybe, and open to bringing your manifestations to life. I'm grateful for the lessons that you've been taught, grateful for this crazy year that was 2020, while also looking forward to a new year and a new opportunity to create. So I'm going to go ahead and light the candle. And let's go ahead and open our little ceremony here with 3 ohms. If you want to just ohm along in your head, that's totally fine. If you're not comfortable chanting out loud, that's totally fine. I like to place a hand on my chest just so that I can really feel the resonating sound. So we're just gonna do 3 ohms. You can close down the eyes if that feels safe. So deep inhale here. So let's get started by cleansing our space. If you have some Palo Santo or some sage around you, I'm going to start off with my sage, and then I will do some Palo Santo as well. Sage is very good for clearing out negative energy that may be in your space, removing bad vibes, anything like that, whereas Palo Santo is really good at inviting in the positive. So sage is getting rid of the negative, and Palo Santo is bringing in the positive, which is obviously a very simplified explanation of the two, but so just kind of clearing the space around you, clearing yourself. I also will go through and clear my house. I'll do a sage smudge of the whole house, just to start fresh for the new year. I also like to mop the floor. I usually use a Swiffer, but once a year I'll do my hippie version where I mop with just plain water and some basil in there, and that's meant to bring in prosperity as well. So just getting that sage around you and just seeing that as almost like a pathway, I would say. Watching the smoke swirl around, and just think of it as if it is cleaning the air, removing all that negativity that may have piled up over the year. So I've got my Palo Santo now, which I'm also going to burn really quickly. I love Palo Santo. Sage is also really nice. It actually has insect repelling qualities, which can be very nice, especially for people like me who are living in a warmer climate. There's a lot more bugs around, so it's nice to kind of have that added quality. So again, with the Palo Santo, if you are burning that, just kind of visualizing that smoke swirling around you, bringing in warmth and positivity, happiness. Just bringing your space back to a neutral, positive place. I'm gonna just scoot these little candles over here. Alrighty, so we can go ahead and get started with our first journaling prompt. So we're going to do a quick, about a minute-ish. I don't have a timer on me, so it's going to be hippie timing, but I will ring a bell when it's time for us to come to a close with that. So feel free to journal as much as you want. If you want to pause the video and carry on with the prompt, if it's really resonating with you, you can go ahead and do that as well. So our first prompt that we're going to do is just a 2020 at a glance. So this is just going to be kind of you can do it in point form, you can do it in paragraphs if that's what you want to do, whatever is most resonating with you. Just kind of getting down the biggest things kind of that happened to you in 2020. I mean, you can put down quarantine, coronavirus, craziness, like all of this stuff, but also just like little things that happened to you, like I got a cat, or I lost a friend, or anything like that. It doesn't have to be all positive things, it's just kind of an overview of what happened in your 2020. So going ahead with that, 2020 at a glance, and we can go ahead and start journaling now. So just getting those ideas down. And you don't just have to list things, like you don't have to just put coronavirus happened. You can delve into that as well and put like how you felt about it, what it's done to you, like has it caused your anxiety to spike? Has it caused you to maybe like notice other things? Not just necessarily listing, just headings, if you will. And if you're getting on a bit of a tough spot, choose if you would like to really lean into that. Maybe something's really upsetting you to get down, but perhaps it feels like it's a bit of a release to let that go. But if there's something that's making you feel really down or unsafe, of course you can stop with the prompt if you need to. So just making sure that you're taking care of yourself at the same time as processing what this year brought to you. I think Heidi would be journaling right now too if she had opposable thumbs. We're going to be sort of Coming towards the end of this prompt here, so getting down your last couple thoughts. Completing your last couple words here. Either pausing this video and carrying on, or putting a period at the end of your sentence. So just sitting for a moment and noticing what that journaling prompt brought up for you. Perhaps you realized that there were actually quite a few positive things that happened, that you kind of got overshadowed by the whole coronavirus and quarantine. Perhaps you realized that there were a lot more negative things affecting you than you thought. Just processing that and sitting with that for a minute. We're gonna sort of have a mini meditation in between each of these journaling prompts, just to really process what you've put down and what's come up for each of these. So just finding a comfortable seat. Of course, we're seated this whole time, but just getting comfortable, just to take a quick moment here meditating. Not a long one, just closing down the eyes, dropping into the body, taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And just noticing what's stirring here. Do you feel like a bit of a weight has been lifted from getting this written down? Are you feeling disappointed with your at a glance? Are you feeling like you didn't get enough done? Just noticing if your first reaction is to be hard on yourself. And noticing that if that is the way that your thought process goes, that is really quite a normal and constant thing for most people. But just trying to take those thoughts of disappointment and, well, you didn't do this that you said you would, and just try and think of yourself speaking to your best friend. This year has been crazy. A lot of things that no one ever thought would happen have happened. It's been very hard for a lot of people. So just think of all these disappointments and thoughts that you have nagging on yourself. Visualize that as being something that your best friend is feeling. What would you feel towards him or her? What would you say? I'm pretty certain that most of us would be very sympathetic and loving towards that person. We've all been through quite a lot this year, so I think your best friend deserves that space, don't you? Let's take another deep breath in through the nose and open opening the mouth, let that go. Blinking the eyes open. Let's move on to our next prompt here. So the next one that we have is sort of delving more into that. So it is, what was your biggest challenge in 2020? And I do invite you to delve deep into this, as opposed to just writing coronavirus or quarantine. I really invite you to sit with that and delve into that more. While they may have been your biggest challenge, maybe try and sit with that and get more of an idea of what caused it to be so challenging for you. Did you find that you had struggles with overeating and gaining weight? Hi. Or did you find that it was not being around people and you're someone who recharges by interaction? Something like that. Just really delving into those feelings and why this challenge was such a big challenge for you. So again, we're just gonna journal for about a minute, just getting some ideas down on that. So biggest challenge of 2020. And again, you can always pause this video if you're really on a roll and you want to keep going, or if you want to save it for later, go ahead and do that. So let's just start getting that down. And this can be related to anything. It can be related to friends or family, your own personal challenges, your mental health. There's no right or wrong answer with any of this stuff. This is all 100% pertaining to you. This is something that can be totally private. No one ever has to see or read this or know what you've written down. This is 100% a safe space for you to process and get out your feelings. So really, really think about it, and try to delve deep. Again, if you feel safe to do so. If this is triggering for you and you're not liking this journaling prompt, then go ahead and leave this one. That's totally fine as well. Just sit and take some deep breaths, perhaps, while the rest of us journal. The rest of us, like I'm not sitting here alone on my couch with my cats. Hey, manifest it, right? Biggest challenge of 2020. If you hit a block, just kind of trying to write down whatever's in your head. This might help to lead you back to your thought. Just starting to come towards the end of these thoughts that you're having. We'll wrap this up here. Deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. We're going to jump straight into our next prompt before we take our little mini meditation here. While these feelings from this prompt are still kind of fresh, so we are going to move on to the next prompt, which is going to be your biggest accomplishment of 2020. And this does not need to be something that is this crazy huge accomplishment. So you don't need to feel any shame or anything like that. If your biggest accomplishment is surviving a pandemic thus far, then that is an amazing accomplishment and you should be proud of that. So there is nothing that is too big or too small here. Even if you want to list a few things, if you want to do it in point form and say this, go ahead and do that. If you want to sort of just delve into one thing or one idea, this is, again, like I said, 100% your journaling. This is your time to process what happened in this past year for you. So we are going to begin this prompt right away. So biggest accomplishment of 2020. Again, just a reminder that in this moment, this is a safe space for all of us. So if you are feeling triggered or unsafe, you can stop with the journaling prompts. You can take a breather if you'd like to, but just know that we're all here processing together. So you are 100% safe here with us. And of course, the idea of this prompt is a little bit more of a positive thought process. So trying to make sure that you're sticking to things that are, good accomplishments, and not saying, well, even though this happened, I guess this was an accomplishment. So try to stay away from the negative and getting back to the challenges. You really want to focus on your accomplishments here and the positive things that you brought into your life and your routine. Just starting to wrap up the idea that you're on. Your sentence. And returning to a comfortable seat, just closing down the eyes. Sinking back down into the body, tuning into the breath, and just observing what changes have happened in the body. Perhaps you're feeling a lot of tension. Maybe you're feeling a little bit lighter from when we first started with that first prompt. And just noticing now what you're dwelling on. Are you still thinking about your biggest challenges? Or were you able to really shift your focus to your accomplishments? And again, just trying to view those challenges that are potentially bouncing around in your head right now. View them from the eyes of a loved one or a best friend. If you're seeing those challenges as something to be ashamed of or something embarrassing that you failed at, just try and shift that gaze. You're in the middle of a worldwide pandemic here. If you're judging yourself for having laid on the couch a bunch, if you were seeing your best friend do that, would you be judging them? Would you be having those same thoughts, calling them the same names? And just turning your mind to the accomplishments. How did that make you feel to put that down? Was it uncomfortable? Was it hard to pat yourself on the back and say, hey, I did a great job at this? Did you feel silly? Maybe you put something little down like, I've quit coffee, or I made sure that I drank a lot of water even though I'm quarantining and my routine is different. Maybe I've created a new routine for myself. Anything can be an accomplishment. Just think about how good that makes you feel to acknowledge that, instead of just dwelling on the things that are perceived wrong. This is an unprecedented time. There's no such thing as right or wrong here. You get to choose what makes you feel good and what you're doing that is helping you right now. So just trying to dwell more on the accomplishments. Maybe one day you do just lay on the couch and eat chips all day watching TV. Why does that have to be wrong? Maybe that's something that your mental health needed that day. Ooh, that one got to me a little bit. That being said, we are all struggling right now, obviously. I'm not here up on a high horse telling you not to feel bad. I have been putting myself down quite a bit as well. So just trying to remind yourself to be that support. And if you're not strong enough to be that support for yourself, seeking help from others, seeking out your loved ones, asking them for the help that you need. If you're not feeling okay right now, There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing shameful about that. Just ask for help. Ask for the love that you need. Taking a deep breath in through the nose and letting that go out the mouth. Let's do that once more. Deep inhale through the nose and exhale, let that go. So we are going to take a little break with the journaling here. I'm going to do some cleansing. If you have any items that you have around you that make you feel positive, maybe it's a figurine or a set of fake flowers, like anything that you find that you draw happiness and energy from, that you would like to kind of cleanse and prepare for the new year, then go ahead and grab that. Otherwise, if you would like to light your sage or palo santo and cleanse yourself again, this isn't going to be super long because I do obviously realize that other people aren't going to have the same stuff that I do. So I'm choosing palo santo for this. So basically what I do when I'm cleansing an object is that I sort of just think about the intention of that object. So for me, these crystal grids that I have that I place in the four corners of my home, they're sort of set up specifically for myself to protect, not necessarily physically, though that is great, but sort of protect me mentally as well. So while I'm sort of letting the smoke hit these objects, I'm sort of thinking to myself, you know, like almost as if I'm speaking to the universe is how I do it. So I sort of just say like, you know, please continue to protect me. Please continue to bring positivity into this household. Please bring love and joy. And there we go, that's one done. So again, just thinking of your own stuff. You don't have to say it out loud. You can just think it to yourself as you watch the smoke clear over the objects, and think of it almost as if it's like fresh water in smoke, that it's cleaning and wiping away all of that negativity, maybe any stuck energy that got in there. Just visualizing what it is that you would like this object to bring to you, to do for you. And this is also similar to how you would go about cleansing your home as well. You would sort of visualize what you want to have as the intention for each room. Family room could be community and joy and laughter. The kitchen could be fulfillment, fullness. I'm going to pull out my little towers now, and I'm gonna pick out the bay leaf out of each of these. So these I made and set up when I moved in, so they haven't been in a full year yet, but this is something now that I am moved in that I would do every year. So again, if you do have bay leaves that you would like to set intentions with and manifest with, please do go ahead and grab those. Obviously, if you don't have these jars, that's fine, but you do want to make sure that you have something to catch the ashes in so that you're not, you know, causing any issues. You want to make sure that you're fire safe. So first thing that I'm going to do is get my pen, and I'm going to write my intention, my manifestation into each of these. So for example, for my first one, I'll take my bay leaf and I'll write right on it. And I am going to say prosperity. And just think about that as you're writing it. And then I'm going to take that bay leaf, just take a moment, visualize how grateful I'll feel when I receive that prosperity, whatever form I would like it to take. And then just sending that out. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then let's light this puppy up. And depending how dry it is too, bay leaves can burn quite quickly, so do just make sure that you're being careful with your hands. Sometimes it can take a couple tries too, so just taking your time. And as you're burning this, again, just think of it as sort of a request that you're sending out. And that in burning this, this is your way of sort of putting it into the universe. See those flames, people? Please be careful. They do burn quite a bit. And of course I have to be careful as well not to get too much on the edges of these here, as these are obviously glass bins, so I don't want to get them too hot, because that can always cause an issue too. So if you do have a flaming piece, then make sure that you're careful with that and not just dropping it straight in if it is a glass jar that you're using. And it's good to keep the ashes as well. It just kind of keeps that emotion, that feeling that you put into the universe. It kind of keeps it present as well. So here we go. I think that's as good as we're getting on this one. So I will drop that in. Alrighty, and then I'm going to get a new bay leaf. It's nothing fancy, people. This is just a little sachet of bay leaves that I got at the supermarket. So I'm going to put in a fresh one for the new year. There we go. And then I will just take my Palo Santo. Hopefully get it lit before 2021 is gone. The thing with Palo Santo, it can be a little bit harder to light than sage. Sage will spark right up. There we go. I'm just gonna kind of get that smoke in there to cleanse the previous ingredients that are staying in there, and that new energy. I burned myself a little bit. Be careful, you guys. So next one, I am going to put love. Let me fill all of these out at once so that I can speed up the burning process so you guys don't have to sit there for that whole thing. So the next one, this is a nice one. Ooh, pretty. They smell so good too. So the next one, I want to bring it. I'm gonna say contentment. And then my last one here. Well, I'm going to use my my soul vow that I found in my yoga teacher training, and that is joy. So I have these now, and again, I'm going to pick up each one, sort of visualize it, think about it, and then I'm going to burn it and drop the ashes into each one of these and put in a new bay leaf. So I'll probably speed this up in the video, just because they do take a little while to burn. So please go ahead and do yours if you're doing them. You can just do one. I'm just doing 4 because I have 4 bins. So going ahead with that. Okay guys, so that is all done. So we are going to finish off our last 2 journaling prompts here, and then I am going to pull a tarot card for our upcoming year. So these next 2 are moving into the future. Ooh. So we are going to start off with what is something that you need to let go of or release in 2021? And again, as I've mentioned in all the other ones, if this is something that's really triggering for you, feel free to leave it. You do not have to do this exercise. So what do you need to let go of or release in 2021? And again, we're just going to do a quick, about a minute on this. So even taking a minute to just sit with that before you actually start writing. And just think of something that you feel is no longer serving you. So I can say for myself, something that I need to let go of moving forward is that the idea that I need to fit a certain size or a certain box to be considered worthy, or to be allowed to love myself or feel happy. I think that that might be something that resonates with a lot of people right now, especially coming out of quarantine. I think a lot of people are in a bigger size than they started quarantine in, and that might be very triggering. I know it is for me, especially being brought up in the world that I was brought up in, you know, the westernized world. It is a kind of a huge thing to be this super thin, perfect, but also with curves and some cute freckles, but no other marks on your body, and perfect, beautiful, thick hair on your head, but nowhere else. And this made-up vision of what a woman should be. So I know for myself that that is something that I have struggled a lot with, especially at the end of this year. So that is something that I need to let it go. I am not doing that moving forward. So as well, if you can sort of fill up your page, but at the very bottom of your page, maybe in the corner, just kind of summarizing that down to a little like sentence or one word even, so that you can rip that little corner out. And we're actually going to burn this as well. So we're burning a lot of stuff today. So what do you need to release in 2021? Think about what this is going to be for you specifically, and just get that down. come to the end of that thought or sentence. And then also writing your little sentence or word at the bottom of the page there and just ripping that out. If that in itself is triggering for you, because I do know that some people are very particular about their diaries or notebooks, then of course go and grab a sticky and just use a separate page for that. There we go. And when you're ready, just taking a look at that and really thinking about letting that go. So I've written down here, I need to release the idea that gaining weight equals failure. And I'm just going to sit with that for a second and feel that. And perhaps it's something that's very emotional for you. Maybe it's something that makes you laugh at the idea of like, get this out of here. I don't need it anymore. Maybe you're really, really ready to let it go. So you can fold that up, or if it's just one little piece, then you can keep that the way it is. Again, making sure you have somewhere to catch your ashes from this and burn that sucker. Let it go. Ooh, mine's burning up crazy. Fire safety, folks. I talk about it a lot, but apparently I don't practice it. I almost lit my hand on fire. All right. Do you feel lighter? That's gone. We're over it, okay? Now, last journaling prompt before we pull our card and close out the ceremony here. We are moving forward, and how fitting, this is the end of my, I have a multi-page journal, so it's something like this with where it looks like it's got pressed flowers in it. It's very beautiful. I got this as a Christmas gift last year, actually. And then it finishes these pages and moves into the brown pages, which is what I have chosen to make memories. And I put little things that I feel I'll want to remember always. So how fitting that this is where we end. So the last prompt here is going to be, what is a goal that you want to set for 2021? And make this something that you feel is attainable. It's not the idea of setting a New Year's resolution, I'm gonna lose 10 pounds by March. Set it as something that's not set from a place of dislike. Don't set something like, I'm gonna be smaller, in the new year. I'm gonna maybe say, I'll work out more because being active is good for my body and I wanna take care of myself. Try and make sure that you're setting things that are there to care for you and there to help you and not there to punish you for certain things. That is good tea. Okay, so what is a goal that you want to set for 2021? And this doesn't need to be something crazy and big either. It could be, I want to drink more water or anything like that. So just finishing out this last journaling prompt here. And just coming to the end of that thought. Completing your final sentence. Going to sort of complete our final meditation while I shuffle our tarot cards here. So, don't drop them. I'm going to be visualizing the upcoming year so we can close down the eyes, knocking out any past energy. We just want to pull one card today. Not to sum up what's going to happen in 2021. It's not a fortune telling kind of thing, but just to hear what we all need to hear. A message perhaps that we need to bring with us into the new year. Perhaps something that we all need to collectively let go of. A bit of knowledge that we can have in our hearts going through this next year, knowing that while it may be difficult and stressful like this past year was, that we will get through it together. I'm just now tuning in the body. And just noticing how your body is feeling now. After completing these cleansing rituals, the intention setting, the prompts. Notice how you're feeling. Are you feeling frustrated? Are you feeling excited? A little trepidatious maybe? Nervous for what's to come. Without judgment, whatever you're feeling in this moment is totally valid. Ooh. Well, I guess I'm done shuffling now. So this card just flew out of the deck here. So just put these away. I'll get my little book out. I apologize, I'm not super intuitive with these yet, but this is the Empress. So I will insert a picture of this card right here. And I love this card. Oh, this deck smells so good. Are you guys nerdy like me, where you always smell new books and stuff like that? I love it. So I'm just going to find the page with the Empress on it. Here we are. And she fell out facing up. So tarot cards, if you don't know, might be drawn face up or they might be reversed, and that gives them a different meaning, but she came out just like this. So the Empress. The 12 stars of the zodiac rest upon the Empress's crown. The High Priestess's water flows through the waterfall in the background and continues through the Empress card and through the entire tarot deck. Her belly is soft and round, and indicates pregnancy and all the creativity it implies. Her scepter reflects the world she holds in her hand. The symbol of Venus, planet and goddess of love and sensuality, is placed at her throne. The wheat field implies growth and harvest, and is sacred to the Greek grain mother Demeter. The Empress is bursting creativity. Mother, pregnancy, powerful, sensual, female nature, emotional and nurturing, expansion and growth, the creative principle in action, deep beauty of all forms. Ooh, I like this one. So, yeah, I think this is a great card moving forward into 2021. I really like the very beginning where it mentions that all 12 of the zodiac stars are in her crown. So it's like all of us, we're all getting ready to go again. Bursting with creativity, beauty, femininity, softness. Ooh, I love that so much. I think that was a perfect card to pull for the upcoming year. And hey, the harvest is good, so that's always great, right? So we're just gonna close this out now. We're gonna do a little bit of a closing meditation here. So just finding your comfortable seat for the last time. Closing down the eyes. Returning to the breath. Returning to the body. Noticing anything that's stirring here, if there's sensation in the body physically, perhaps there's an emotion that's moving around throughout your body. Feeling no judgment at all here. Feeling only present. Your next inhale, beginning to visualize a beautiful, warm, white light pouring in through the crown of the head and sinking down through the body, bringing with it a wave of relaxation and comfort, feeling held, supported by the universe, by this community, by your loved ones. And knowing that however this past year went is now totally irrelevant. You are allowed to feel how you feel. You are worthy. You are beautiful. You are perfect in every way. The world needs you. We all need you. And promising yourself that you'll move into this next year from a place of love for yourself, for others, a place of acceptance, non-judgment, a place of beauty. The world needs more beauty and love. You are totally capable of providing that. Hands to Anjali Mudra, heart center, or placing the palms flat on the chest, bowing the head slightly to honor yourself. You're taking time to do this ceremony, this intention setting, this processing. And just taking one final moment to feel the gratitude deep within you for what is to come. you, thank you, thank you. The divine light in me honors, acknowledges, and bows to the divine light in you. Namaste. With that, I'm going to blow out our candle and close our ceremony. Thank you guys so much for joining me here today for this ceremony. I know it hasn't been a full year yet. I only started my channel in June, July, something like that. But I do want to say that I really appreciate all of the support, and I hope that I can bring some really good content for you guys in the new year. Please like this video if you enjoyed this practice. Please comment and let me know what you liked about it. If you want to share what your intentions are, what your goals are for 2021, if you feel comfortable sharing that, please do so in the comments. And also let me know what you want to see in the coming year. Thank you so much. Please subscribe if you're not already. Tell your friends, tell your family. I would love it if we could all get together here. And I mean, we already do, even if there's only one of you out there watching me right now. Hi, thank you, I appreciate you. I hope you all have a fabulous, amazing new year. I will still be posting on Saturday, so you will still get your usual weekly upload. This was just an extra bonus one for the new year intention setting. So I hope you have a wonderful New Year's. I hope that you are staying safe and staying healthy, and I am wishing you all a just beautiful, prosperous, joyful, incredible 2021. Thank you so much. Namaste.